Yeah, Widow is really good. Currently, the characters who I think are the best are, let's see, just to go in order here. I would say Junkrat is top tier, Lucio, McCree, Mercy, uh, oh, Widowmaker, of course. Yeah, I feel like those are the top tier characters. Top tier, I mean, obviously it's a team game, so top tier, and you can change the characters even, so top tier like doesn't mean quite what it does in fighting games, but I think those are the ones who have the most utility personally. And then just below that, in the tier just below that, I would probably have maybe like Genji, Mei, Pharah, oh, Reinhardt for sure, yeah, Zarya and Tracer. And then everybody else I feel like is in the tier below that. The reason that I don't think Reinhardt is top tier is that while he is useful in a lot of situations, I just feel like Lucio, McCree, Mercy, and Junkrat and Widowmaker. I feel like there's no there's no downside to ever having picked those characters. Like I feel like they're successful on every map. I feel like they're successful in almost every matchup. Um, I just feel like there's like so much utility. Whereas Reinhardt, like if you're on like what are the maps called when you're both trying to attack the same spot? The King of the Hill. If you're on King of the Hill, I really don't think that Reinhardt is all that. I feel like the other tanks are better. Um, so there's like at least one situation where I feel like he's not the guy to pick. Whereas again, these Junkrat, Lucio, McCree, Mercy, Widowmaker, I just feel like there's never a reason not to pick them. I don't know. Like I feel like the best individual best is McCree. Uh, he has up close. He has a combo up close that kills everybody, even the tanks. Um, he's mobile relatively. In that he has the role. He's not like Tracer or whatever, obviously, but he's reasonably mobile. He shoots very well from afar. He does damage and he has good accuracy from afar as well. His ult is super strong. It's good for even if it doesn't kill people, it always moves people away. Like you can always count on it to force movement. So like you never waste his ult. So I just feel like he has all the things. And then Lucio, I feel like either Lucio or Widow is maybe the second best. I don't know, maybe Mercy. I don't know. But in any case, these are all really good. Like Lucio just has so much. Like it's so useful to be able to get your team faster to somewhere, and it's so useful to be able to heal all of your teammates at once, even if it's not a ton at a time. It's super useful. The fact that he does reasonable damage and he's super mobile and he goes up on walls and if you're on like a King of the Hill stage where there's a ring out, he's one of the best in the game at ringing out. So he's both one of the best supports and also one of the best at killing in some situations at least. Um, Junkrat, the reason that I feel like he's up there, I've talked with some other people who don't feel he is. Like everybody thinks he's good, but not top tier. The reason I do is just that he doesn't need to take risk. If you're playing him right, and if your team isn't terrible, then you can play him really without taking almost any risks, and you can do that offensively or defensively. You can do it at King of the Hills. His ult, again, unless you're terrible, unless you do it at a really weird spot, there's no risk to it. Maybe it gets shot, but like it just doesn't come with a risk. And if it pays off, then it blows up and it kills anybody who's near it. Even Reinhardt, Rodog, whoever, they all die. And again, like with McCree's, the fact that you hear this tire coming means that you clear out. Like you clear out of like the big areas. So it's automatic stage control as well. So it's just the fact that he does so much damage and he has stage control with the traps, and he has mobility with his rocket jump, and so much damage from afar around corners. Like he attacks in ways that nobody else gets to, and he's really damaging doing it. And then Widowmaker's obvious. It's really good to be able to headshot and kill just about everybody. Like worst case scenario, if it's like Reinhardt, it's 2 headshots. And the headshot hitbox in this game is really big. So for my money, those are the best characters. Oh, Mercy. Mercy is really good. I mean, she controls from ranges that are pretty safe for her. She has great mobility. Being able to damage boost is awesome. Like she's very, very useful. And by the way, her gun is actually not that bad. Her gun is really not that bad. So it's not like she's even asked out if she has to attack. And this is amazing. So since you're always boosting somebody, so you're always building your ult, and your ult is amazing. You know, it's even a bad ult is good. Like it's hard to waste this ult. Bringing back people from the dead, like giving somebody an extra life is always huge, and in this game it is too. I really don't think Zen is bad. I really don't think so. The problem is just that obviously the life is too low. 150 life is just not. It makes it very difficult for him to perform in a lot of situations. Like you have to not take risk. Like as opposed to Junkrat, who doesn't take any risk and is super damaging. Zenyatta has to take risk, and he just doesn't have the life or the mobility for it. Like, at least even Junkrat. Like, he doesn't walk fast, but he has rocket jump. This guy is one of the slower characters, and he doesn't have anything else to sort of back that up. Like, he doesn't have a roll, he doesn't have a dash, you know, he doesn't have a wall, whatever. So you just really have to play excellently in your spacing. Like, you have to just be spaced perfectly. So I don't think he's bad, but I do think that he gets outclassed by a couple of the other supports, and I do think that he's very tough to play. Yeah, reviving on the payload. Oh man, like I've been on teams where multiple characters get revived on the payload, and that is super hard for the opponent to deal with. So tough. For Widowmaker, like the only counters really are like I don't even know if this is a counter. Like Reinhardt can shield, you know, Mei can wall, Mei can actually snipe her. Like Mei 2-shots Widowmaker at max range. So like that's pretty good, but I don't know if she has like a counter, and that's kind of a problem. Not that I want her nerfed or any of these characters nerfed. I'd rather see other characters get buffed. I'd rather all the characters be crazy. Okay, Genji. All right, yeah, no, actually, I guess now that I think about it, I feel like Genji does, I don't know, maybe like a very mobile character, like a Tracer or something. Yeah, you guys are just saying Genji and Tracer, yeah. Yeah, maybe those. For McCree, I don't really think anybody counters McCree. I feel like the worst situation for McCree is like he's pretty even. But you know, again, he does have to go in if you want to get the combo. Like as I said, he can shoot pretty well from afar, but he does have to go in if you want to be more damaging. So there's that, and again, he doesn't have to. So that's part of why I think he's so good. I feel like the sleepers, like the big sleepers right now, in my view, are Zarya. I think she is super strong. You know, the fact that when you block stuff with your barrier up, your particle cannon does more damage afterwards. So she like explicitly wants you to shoot her. So you shouldn't shoot her. So even though she has 400 health, like effectively she kind of has more than that because you don't want to shoot her. And since half of it is armor, when she's out of a battle, like she heals up, you know? Which is something that most other characters don't do. You know, she has a grenade launcher, which is pretty good. You can also like poke with her. So she's like a semi-Mercy, you know, in the way that like Mercy backs people up. She's not really poking herself, but she's making it much stronger than other people can. And that's what E is. You put a barrier around somebody and they just get to have more life effectively for a little while. And this is an amazing ult. I really think this is super good. So it's a gravity, right? It pulls everybody into the same spot. So I would mention her. I mean, I think Mei is really strong. Uh, being able to, like, it's a game about uh, space control, right? Like it's a game about space control, and she's better at that than almost anybody. Like the only one who's maybe better at it is maybe like Widowmaker or something, but and she's not as good as Widowmaker, but she's up there. Like being able to control space, she's effectively a tank because you get to do your little L shift here, become invulnerable, and heal yourself. There's only like 2 or 3 things in the whole game that are invulnerable. There's like that. It's like Zenyatta's ult. I don't know if there's anything else, and that's really unusual. So being able to use that is really good. And then Ice Wall. There's just so many uses, like putting your friends in better spots, like making so the opponent can't come at you, making so that the opponent can't get away, making so that you're safer yourself. Like there's just a billion things. A billion things that I really feel like that is one of the best tools. And the ability, like when I see people talking about her online, they talk about the fact that she freezes people up close. That's good. There's no doubt. And I feel so as a result of this being able to freeze people, I feel like she beats people that a lot of characters have trouble with, like Tracer. Like a lot of characters, not that Tracer's like top tier, but she's strong in a lot of matchups. Or like Genji. Like he can't parry the freeze. And Tracer, even though she's blinking all around, the fact that Mei's gun has so many bullets, like she's freezing. Like if you just hold down left click, you're doing it for like 5 seconds. And that's really good. Anyway, oh, and the ice pick to the dome is really good actually. So there's a lot of stuff in there that I think is good. Her ult is again one of these things that is just so good at controlling space. Like you saw how I used it. Just put it around a corner, see what happens. It doesn't. If things go well, then you kill like 4 people. If not, then they have cleared out of that area. Like they're not there anymore. They had to run. So the fact that it's not instant is not like, would it be great if it was instant? Yes, but it's not bad that it's not, because it still forces people to move away from an area. So she is like such a space control character. That's why I really like her. Like I really have fun one-on-one Mei versus Tracer. Like if so, because I'm really roaming. I feel like I'm a center. Like in hockey, I'm playing center. I'm offense, defense. I'm everywhere as Mei. If I'm in the back line and there's a Tracer back there and we get to one-on-one, it's really fun. It's a fun matchup because you have to pay attention to where she's coming from, where she can blink to. You have to pay attention to where she was a few seconds ago. So if she uses the E, I believe it's E. Yeah, the recall, then you'll know where she's going to show up. And if you feel like things are going poorly for you, then you can use the ice block. You can turn it into a popsicle, and then you heal up. And since Tracer doesn't do enough damage, you can come out of that popsicle pretty safely. You won't die, unless she has ult, I guess. But other than that, you won't die. Really interesting matchup. I feel like Mei wins it. Like it's not even it's partly about the freeze for sure. That's part of why she beats Tracer, because you're just holding left click for like 5 seconds, and slowing her down, and her Tracer's strength is her speed. So if you slow that down, then she becomes killable. So that's definitely a big part of why Mei beats her. But I think that the popsicle is a big part of it too. Freeze is not butt. It's not butt. You can't. Like you see me sometimes go in thinking that it's too good, and I can't do that. Like I tried to kill a Roadhog this last game or 2 games ago. You can't do that. But you shouldn't be. I feel like you shouldn't need to kill tanks. I feel like she beats Reinhardt. And again, it's not because she needs to kill him. It's that Ice Wall separates him from the rest of his team. If he doesn't have the backup, then it's bad news. And the right click, the ice pick, is really good at breaking shield. So you can really blow that up. And then if he does want to fight you up close, like again, freeze is okay. You're not going to kill him, but hopefully your team is like there, and they can clean it up. But you get to freeze them. I don't even think that freeze is the reason why Mei is that good. I think it's the wall. That's what I guess I got sidetracked a little bit, but I was gonna say that when I see people talking about Mei online, it's often about the freeze, and the freeze is good, but it's not great. You have to understand that limitation. The reason that I think she's so good is because of the wall, because of the popsicle, because she can roam, and she has that ult that clears people out. So it's basically those things that I feel like take her from being like maybe mid tier, I don't know, maybe even low mid, to being high tier, in my view. Like if I had to make a list of like what are the best skills, okay, it's probably like flashbang, but other than that, I don't know, maybe like Lucio stuff, maybe, there's a couple of things, but I do think that wall is top 5. So Mei versus Symmetra. I didn't know until tonight that Symmetra's beam does increased damage over time. That's really good. I'll definitely keep that in mind. What I guess I'll do the next time I play as Symmetra is use Popsicle in the middle of her attacking me, so that I imagine her beam will have to reset. Yeah, Symmetra's ult is really good, but it's situational. Like you don't need to have the ult if you're playing offense and you are within 2/3 of the start. Like you really don't need that ult. And if you're playing defense and the opponent is like 2/3 of the way to you, and you don't really need that ult either. So I feel like Symmetra is a good starting defensive character. Like round start, Symmetra should have orbs. Great. Set out as soon as you get the teleporter, set it out, right? But if you get pushed back at all, I feel like it's time to switch away. So the more I play Reaper, the more I think he's not that great. I didn't play him at all tonight, now that I think about it, but among the offense characters, he's the one that I do use, because he's kind of sick looking. I actually prefer the classic, but yeah, look at these. Anyway, oh yeah, that's the best one, I think. Look at that, it's like all white and then red. That's so cool looking. The Plague Doctor one's pretty sick too, though. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of them are cool looking. Anyway, the more I play him, the more I think he is not that strong. It's kind of just disappointing to me. Like I wanted to use him to like sneak around the back. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about it in chat right now. I wanted to use him to sneak around the back and like teleport to cool places, but teleport has such long startup and such long cooldown. And it's when you teleport, like you can see, the opponents can see where you're gonna land, so you can get blown up. The guns are good. Like he shoots well, he does good damage, but I don't know, maybe if like Ghost moved faster, Wraith form, maybe if Vape moved faster, maybe if Shadow Step didn't take so long, it wasn't so punishable at the end of it. I don't know. And as Climax is saying, I do agree that other characters perform his role better. I feel like Tracer does his role better. McCree to some degree, they're not exactly the same character, but McCree I think is better at it. I think Genji, to the extent they want to do the same things, like backline disruption, I feel like Genji's better at it. So there's a bunch of characters that I would rather have than Reaper. So far, I don't really think he's that great. Diva, I know a lot of people think sucks. I'm not sure. Like it sucks that she goes so slowly when she's shooting. that is definitely crappy. On the other hand, it's nice to have a tank that's that mobile, and it's nice to have armor that's like regeneratable, and it's nice that she has 2 lives every time. Like, eject out of your mech when it's destroyed. Great. Like, oftentimes she ends up dying anyway, but you have a second chance, which very few characters get. And self-destruct, I think, is awesome. Again, it's another one of these ults that is a space control idea. So you just toss it into the middle of a bunch of people, and either they die or they clear out. Either way, mission accomplished to some degree. So I don't know. I'm not sure that she's good, but she doesn't seem bad to me. Yo, Climax, that exact thing has happened to me. Like, as Reaper, I want to dance around the back, so I use a teleport, and lo and behold, guess who's there? It's the opposing Widow, because she wants to be in like the same spot that I'm already in, or that I want to be in the same spot that she's already in, because they're good. It's a good spot. So I don't know. Maybe I need to go into the lab with Reaper and see where he can go a little bit more creatively. I don't know. Hmm. Soldier, the way Sanchez described him was that he's the Ryu of the game, because he's just very all around, and not that he's the best character, but he's just good at everything. He does good damage. Rockets are nice. He can heal himself. He has mobility. He can kill people with tactical visor. So he just has a lot of good tools. Not the best at any of them, but legit at all of them. I don't like him because he's not the stereotypical shooty dude. He's not like some boring Call of Duty character, but he's like the most like that in this game, so I'm not super interested. I play a lot of Torbjorn, who I don't really think is that great. He's just a lot of fun to me. But I don't think he's that great. Clearly, you play him on defense, or you play him on King of the Hill. Like, those are the only options. I really feel like offense is like not worth it. And I think that's how he's built. He's built for that. But not that he's terrible. Like, the shotgun is pretty solid. He can attack from really far with the left click. It's nice to have reconstructible turrets. I don't think he's terrible. I just think that he's not that great. A lot of fun, though. A lot of fun. And if you get into Molten Core, if you become Super Dwarf, the way that I use that really is like, sure, if I have a turret up and it's level 2 and a bunch of opponents are coming, sure, it's Molten Core time. But that tends not to happen very often. So the way that I use it more often is you gain attack speed and armor. You just become kind of a tank temporarily, so a very damaging tank. So I just rush in, like I'm offensive Torbjorn all of a sudden. But it still kind of sucks because when you're backing off, you have to either have killed everybody or you might die because his walk speed is not that great. Yeah, the armor drops are super good. There's no doubt about that. That said, is it more important to have that, or is it more important, clearly Lucio is better for that. He is healing everybody constantly. Mercy is healing people, like Zenyatta is healing people. Even like 76 heals a bunch of people at once. And that's effectively what armor's doing. It's just giving everybody a little bit of extra life in sort of similar way. So I do agree. I agree that it's good, and it's nice. It's nice because if you have Torbjorn, I feel like Zenyatta becomes immediately better. because you can give him armor and he doesn't have 150 life anymore, and he won't die to a body shot from Widow anymore. So I like that pairing. Not, you know, they're not with each other really, but like that is to say, they're not playing with each other when they're on a team that much. Like Torbjorn's doing his own crap, but on the same team, if there's a good rest of the team there, I feel like that's like one of Zenyatta's better chances to live. Yeah, Climax. Yeah, right. So Climax says Zenyatta, when buffed by Torbjorn, is a very scary character, but at the same time, you're running Torb. Yeah, right. So it is kind of an issue. And the crappy thing too with Torb is that you don't start with the ability to give people armor. Like your turrets have to have died, or you have to have killed people, or your teammates have to have died. So it doesn't come up for the first minute, a couple minutes sometimes. And during that period of time, if you have a Zen, he doesn't have armor yet. So I don't know. Maybe you can bring in a Zen afterward when you do have armor as Torb. Oh, I don't think Symmetra seems unnecessary. I think she has a niche. I don't think she's great, but I think in the niche of opening defensive play, I think she's really strong. I like that she gets to slow people down, like her turrets, sentry turret. By the time a game starts, you should have several of them out, and that means you're controlling space, and you're giving people shields, and you're giving people a teleport. So she has all these things to start, and you can force people to move. The right hold down right click release is not about killing people. It's about sending out a slow moving ball that forces people to leave that area. And those are all good, but again, I feel like it's only opening defense. She's fun too. Well, turrets are killed easily. Yeah. I think that's okay. I think it'd be kind of silly if they weren't. Um, and part of why I feel like she's defense opening only is because they take so long to land. Like Torbjorn, you put a turret out, you're done. Turret, click, done. It's there. These guys take a while, and then afterwards she has a slowdown period for half a second. I don't know, it's weird, but they take a while, and so it's not easy to get them up in battle. You can get them up before the battle starts, so that's why I think she's like that. Winston, I'm not so sure about. He's certainly a blast to play. I really like the mobility. Uh, it's just he does so little damage. And I know that's the character design. A tank with that much life, with that much mobility, shouldn't do a lot of damage. It would be silly. But, I don't know. Not that great, in my view. I feel like he's, well, I don't want to make it seem like I think he's bad, but I do think he's probably mid tier, maybe low mid, like a situational tank. I like him on King of the Hill. So how I was saying that I think Reinhardt is not that great on King of the Hill. If I was a tank main, if I main that class, I'd pick Reinhardt for most, and then I think I would back it up with Winston. Uh, well, maybe I'd just pick Zarya always, but Reinhardt, Winston, something like that. Yeah, Winston definitely knocks people off maps easily, no doubt, dude. Yeah, for sure. I like this guy. I think he's fun. Uh, he's a good tank. You know, he's not a tank in the way that uh, Reinhardt is, or Winston, or even Diva really. Um, because I don't know that he actually wants to be right in the thick of things. I feel like he's like a combo of tank and sniper. Kind of a funky combo, but I like it. It's fun. Yeah, Reinhardt versus Widow makes sense. Like Reinhardt versus uh like Reinhardt kills like Genji and stuff, but how often does that happen? You know, like Genji, the point of Genji is to not, he doesn't want to be battling a tank. Like what's he doing battling a tank? He wants to be on the opposing team's back lines. He doesn't want to be on the front lines. So I feel like that matchup doesn't happen that often. Like I said, I just don't think that he's a tank in the same way as a Reinhardt, a Zarya, a Winston. I really think that he's more of like this weird hybrid of sort of poking around, not being right in the thick of things, but he has a ton of life. So I think he's fun. I I don't know how good he is. I guess I think he's pretty good, but like maybe mid. You know, nobody's bad in this game, but he's certainly not top tier, and I don't think he's high tier either. Uh, Good, but I guess I think the problem is that uh, I don't know. I guess the more I think about it, the more I think he's okay. Yeah, Roadhog can get 5 gold medals. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like Reinhardt is kind of the roaming tank. Like, do you know how I was talking about how May I feel like is the center in hockey. If you don't follow hockey, the center is the guy who sort of roams around. He can play offense, he can play defense. Um, it's on him most more to like feed the puck rather than to score. Although of course he scores too, but like that's not the primary role. That's what I feel like May is, uh, and maybe Roadhog is that too. I don't know. I gotta think about it. I guess. Um, do I think Blizzard will bring in StarCraft characters in an expansion down the line? They do a pretty good job with the cross promotion anyway. You know, like you could play like there was like cross promotion with this game and other Blizzard titles. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. A flanking tank for Roadhog. I guess maybe that's a better way to phrase what I was trying to get at. Like sort of roaming around, uh, not really playing defense, but you know he can snipe okay, and he certainly does a lot of damage up close, and he has mid range control because of the hook. Yeah, much more of a solo tank, for sure. Especially compared to Reinhardt, compared to Winston, compared to Zarya. Yeah, for sure. So it's cool that they did that with the tanks. You know, they're all quite different. I'm just not really. I guess I'm not really sure where Diva fits in. Maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. I'm not really sure what she's about. Farah, I like playing her. I think she's cool, and I like this alt. This is kind of a cool costume. Look at the colors. Yeah, white and red. It's kind of cool looking. Ooh, that's super cool. I hadn't seen that before. I've never seen anybody use this. Oh, that is really cool, actually. That kind of makes me want to play Pharah. She's good. Very mobile. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people do Reinhardt and Roadhog on the same team. Certainly, I've done that a lot. My teams have done that a lot. And other people, when I watch other people play, they do it a lot too. I think it makes sense because, like we were saying, Roadhog's not really about protecting. He's not a tank in the same way, you know. He covers and he takes a lot of damage, but he's not really a tank in the same way. So I think that makes sense. I don't think Pharah is top tier personally. I think she's high tier. Obviously, she's quite good. No doubt about that. Nobody else in the game has the mobility that she has. You know, she can fly. Nobody else gets to fly around and then hover. You know, so she's very unusual in that way. But I think she's situational. There are maps where it's good to have somebody who flies, and then there are maps where it's not as important. So if you're on a map that's like, what is it? Maybe it's Hollywood? I don't remember. But you know, maps where there's a lot of open space, then I can see her being useful. Good character, you know. Personally, my favorite character is Mei. It's just because she's a space control character. I feel like I can play this really interesting space control game with her. So she's my #1 favorite. I play her, Reinhardt, sorry, distracted. I play her, Reinhardt, Lucio a lot. I play Torb a lot. Starting to play Symmetra more. I'd like to play Zarya more, but I've mostly been doing Roadhog. A little bit of Mechadolsum. I've never picked Hanzo. I've never even tried him. I just really have no interest. He's not a game. He doesn't play like how I want to play. I don't want to play that snipery style. I just think it's boring, I guess. And I don't know. I don't think he's that cool looking, and like, it's just not for me. And he doesn't seem that great either. So like, where I can imagine myself playing Widow if my team really needs me to, just because she's so good. I don't really think it's the case for him. So does he have Star Fox legs? Did he get an amputee? Is he an amputee? What's going on there? Those are good picks, Canaris. James does not play Overwatch, no. Well, look, I guess McCree is cool. And if I were playing the game in tournaments, well, I guess I wouldn't be the one playing McCree probably. I'd be playing whoever else, but you know, obviously you have to have him. He's too important. And Genji. I've never tried Genji either, but I'm definitely more interested in Genji. Like I've tried Tracer a couple times, but I feel like I would like Genji more in that role. Oh, I didn't know there were ones that had his face. That's kind of cool. The Baduna is the coolest one though, I feel. That's super cool looking. You like his M1? I am not sure what that means. The reason James doesn't play is that he gets motion sickness with first-person shooters. He played Splatoon a lot because it was a third-person shooter. Oh, mouse one. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for McCree, yeah. Why not? This is a good description. Accurate, powerful revolver. Yes. Yes, it is. The one character I feel like I should try, but I haven't, is Bastion. Oh, Omnic Crisis or Overgrown. Probably Overgrown, huh? That's kind of cool looking. He has a bird. He has some eggs up there. Yeah, let's equip this. Part of why I want to try him is that so many other people did try him, and I feel like there were too many complaints, and people figured it out too quickly how to play against him. And then a lot of people just ditched him and were like, "We're never going to play him again." So I sort of want to see like what he's capable of. That's it. Wow, that's cool looking. I'm surprised I don't play Bastion because he's a robot. Well, when the game was first announced, he is definitely. Actually, Zenyatta was the one I was looking at most. But yeah, I thought about Bastion too for that reason. It's just the play style doesn't. I don't know if it fits me really. So I just want to try it out just to see how it is. Yeah, we've done Protect the President a few times. Reinhardt in the front, or May with the wall, Bastion doing stupid stuff with just shooting people when he's on top of the car, and then Mercy backing him up. Yeah, it's good. Offense Bastion. I never played TF2. I mean, I haven't. This is the first person shooter that I've played in. Couldn't even tell you. I want to say since Perfect Dark, but I'm not sure if it's been that long. It might. It might be. It might be since college. Maybe it was Halo or Halo 2 or something. But a long time ago. And then I didn't play any shooter at all until Splatoon. During that time. So I totally missed TF2. Yeah, since Perfect Dark, yeah. My buddies and I played that a ton in college. No, the game wasn't brand new when I was in college. I'm not that old. But it was a good game, so we kept playing it. With that BS gun that shoots through the walls. I forget what it's called now. Something sight? Far sight, maybe? Yeah, I'll probably have a cane at some point. Either that or science will advance to a point where I can finally get cyborg parts. Yeah, the Farsight XR20, got it. I'm excited for Injustice 2. I really liked Injustice 1. I really liked MKX and MK9. I feel like that studio makes really good games in my opinion anyway. I just hope that it's not boring looking or sounding, because Injustice 1, I went back and looked at it. That game is the darkest looking, least musical game I think I might have ever played. It's crazy. Like, this is a real true story. I really played that game for an entire year without knowing it had a soundtrack. I remember tweeting one day, I wonder why they didn't even include a soundtrack in this game. Like, I know there's one when you like sign on and you're like picking a character, but like during a match, like, why is there no music? People were like, there's music. It's there. You just never notice it because it's just washed out crap. So, as fun as that game was, the fact that the characters were very stiff looking and the colors were nothing and it just looked drab, and the fact that there was no music, I really feel like those things turned people off. So I want it to be more attractive. I just want more people to play it because NRS games are so interesting. They're so unique. And I feel like that's a big part of why people don't play it. They're just not well animated and not well scored. It's too bad. Yeah, Climax, right. Like, MKX trailer, I remember it had an interesting... It was hip-hop? Yeah, that's what you said. I don't remember, but I remember thinking that, oh, cool, they have music finally. And then the actual soundtrack is, nobody knows what any of those songs are. There's nothing to hum. There's no melody. Well, okay, there's one... I can think of, like, one stage where there's just a guitar and it does the same riff over and over and over again. That's like 4 notes. Maybe it's 6, but it's something like that. Other than that, it's just complete nonsense. And yeah, they definitely hurt themselves with no PC version of MKXL. That really sucks. That really sucks. Well, I do have to get a couple of things done before I go to sleep, so I'm going to sign off and go do some contracts and write a couple emails for work. So thanks a lot for hanging out for so long. Didn't intend it to be a 4-hour stream, but there you go. I'd like to play this more often, and if any of you would like to play with me, just send a tweet to @UltraChenTV with your Blizz ID. I'm playing on PC, by the way. So let me know. Happy to do it. Some people suggested that we do subscriber battles, which I think is kind of a cool idea. I've been playing this game a lot, so I expect that I'll keep that up. All right, y'all. Have a good night.